And Chris, welcome to Hot, and it's a real pleasure to have you on board. Please give us a little bit of a background on exactly what it is that you do.
Okay, so Sinetech is a 22-year-old company, had our 21st last year, that specializes in what we call alternative power. So other mechanisms of power such as solar and battery technology, so standby systems, UPS and stuff like that as well.
Which is something a lot of people are currently talking about because of the high prices of electricity.
Well, yeah, the high price of electricity as well as the still continuing, we have on average 11 power failures a day in the Greater Johannesburg area.
Yeah,
so.
please don't tell me about that. Anyway, how does solar work? And most importantly, is it actually affordable?
Well, most recently, like a lot of technologies, if you look at solar and you look at computer technology, it drops dramatically as it gets more ubiquitous, as more and more people use it. So solar has dropped dramatically in the last 5 years to a point now where it's actually become what we call in the business, it's got grid parity. In other words, you can deploy solar at the same or less than what it would cost you to get electricity from the utility.
And how has the South African market accepted solar? Are they willing to give it a go, as in changing from the normal grid?
Yeah, we've had some very good response, particularly in the residential market, but we really focus on the commercial space, and the reason for that is that they can build a really strong business case around solar. So they can say, look, we're paying X amount per month for electricity to the utility. If we now move over to solar, we can save X amount. Here's the proposal. We go and deploy it, and then we manage and monitor it to show that you're actually getting those savings. So it's an enabler for businesses.
Brilliant. And can public feed electricity back into the grid and get a reward for it?
Well, they've been doing it in Cape Town for many years. Unfortunately, it's not that lucrative because you'll pay, I don't know, say R1.70 a kilowatt hour, which is kind of what I pay on average where I live, but you'll get 50 cents back. So it's not a great deal. But so what we try and do is we try and design systems for self-consumption. So if you're using, 30 kilowatt hours, whatever the case, we try and design a system that will accommodate just that, so that the feeding part doesn't really work. Just Joburg City Power have just permitted that you can feed in, but you have to do the appropriate applications.
And Sinetech have got the capacity to accommodate.
Oh yes.
The request. That's good. And what are the primary benefits of solar overall to the nation?
Well, I mean, aside from the obvious cost advantage. So if you look at Eskom at the low end, your 0 to 600 kilowatt hours, you pay about 90 something cents per kilowatt hour. And then you click up to R1.70, and there's some places that pay into the 2-3 rands per kilowatt hour. It gets very expensive, and another looming increase next year. So obviously the cost advantage is there. But then you have other advantages as well. Is that it's 10 to 20% cheaper because fossil fuels, if you look at it, coal is running out. All of these things are resources are running out, and when they run out, it's a supply-demand thing. They get more expensive. Conversely, technologies, we know as they grow, they get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So there's that massive advantage.
And we've got excessive amounts of sunlight as well. So
well yes. So there's that. South Africa's really well positioned for solar because of our solar irradiation. But also, the very nature of solar is that the places that you would like to have solar are in the rural areas, and that's where our greatest unemployment is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it creates a great employment opportunity
exactly.
as well.
And where does one start to explore the possibilities of solar?
Well, what we do, there's two mechanisms. We either take the client's utility bill and have a look at what they're using currently, and then we say, right, in order to do self-consumption, this is what we would propose, and we give them the financial viability of it. Or else we would actually go to the site and actually put meters onto the site to measure the various peaks, and because that is the problem with power, is when you're using it when the peak time is. So if you look at a typical domestic dwelling, obviously morning when everybody's showering, bathing, cooking, breakfast, and then it drops off during the day, and then at night, so it picks up again. So we do that kind of analysis and then design a system accordingly to that.
Okay, brilliant. And where can we find, I presume, Sinetech? You guys are based?
Yeah, we're based in Stratton Park, Randburg.
Okay.
And we really are an engineering company. So to use a very well-worn phrase, we eat our own dog food. So we have solar panels on our own roof of different types, because there's different types of solar panels and different grades of solar panels. And we have all of that there, so that we can take people through our demonstration rooms, through see what the various options are.
And I think that is really important, because South Africans are still a little bit uneducated as far as solar is concerned, in my opinion.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think what has happened in the last couple of years is that you've had what we call the bucket brigade, guys who were ex-electricians, ex-whatever.
Yeah.
So, oh no, this is easy. You just bolt a panel on the roof and connect up a few cables, and it's not really
We know
that
very
simple.
well. Yeah, I experienced that. Don't worry. And hence the reason why you've been around for so long, which obviously means you're extremely reliable, and the credibility is right there. So how can people get hold of you?
Well, www.sinetech.co.za or 011 886 7874.
And Sinetech is Sinetech.
Yeah, as in
Boy, do I remember that one.
as in a sine wave. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that is awesome, Chris. And thank you for coming in. And you've obviously got your Facebook, your website. Have you got a website as well? Oh, Sinetech, sorry.
Yeah, we're also on Facebook.
On Facebook as well?
Yeah.
Okay, awesomeness. Thank you so much for coming in.